This is Before the Crown, where we talk about the real story, the in-depth detail of every state winner. And right now, I've got Ayushi Panda representing Odisha. Welcome, Ayushi.
Thank you.
And it is a special year that you're here because Odisha is hosting
Yes.
the grand finale of 61st Femina Miss India 2026, right?
Correct.
So so which means you know that you've got a lot of support already because the home crowd, there's going to be a lot of crowd in the audience who's going to be supporting you. So you think that's going to be your plus 10 points already?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I was very delighted when I got to hear that the East is hosting for the first time, and that too my state, Odisha. So I think it's like a huge deal, not just for me, but everyone in Odisha.
No, but now the flip side of it is it also could be a lot of pressure because
Yes.
there is so much hope,
Yeah.
expectations from you. So is that there somewhere deep down?
Yes, I think, a lot of responsibility and pressure is definitely on me, but I'm taking it well and I'm more excited and just very prepared.
We like that optimistic. I'm head on, bring it
Yes.
on. Yeah. Tell me, do you speak the language? Do you speak Odia?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to say something to your followers, fans?
To my followers, I'll say, "Mo tamman ko bahut bhalo paye,"
What does that mean?
which means I really like all of you.
And they like you too. And a lot of expectations from you. If the world needs to know Ayushi, what is Ayushi all about?
Ayushi, right. So I'm a trained Kathak dancer. I think my love for classical dance really means a lot to me. I'm also an avid reader and I love reading. I love reading books. And I have this small library in my home where there are different genres. And sometimes I write poems, but I don't write them often. I just write them when they flow naturally. And I also love debating, elocutions, public speaking. I think, yeah.
So you're a talker.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I love talking.
Any few lines of the poem that you've written that you remember?
I'll just say 2 lines of a poem I had written about women empowerment. And it went like, "They wanted me buried. It was so horrid. But oh, what a deed. But little did they know I was the seed."
Wow,
Yeah.
that is beautiful. That is very profound, I must say. And you write well. We would love to know more on that side or read more of your
Yeah, it's
work.
on my page. You can go check out the entire poem.
Now, there's also another soft side to you, which is you often visit an orphanage, right?
Yes.
Yes. And what stayed the most with you when you visit those kids?
So the orphanage I visited was Asha Kiran, and I visited that orphanage for a project in my first year. And I realized that those kids there weren't actually orphans. They were actually so poverty-ridden that their parents could not afford education or food for them. So they had to drop them off to an orphanage so the orphanage can take care of them. And they visit them just once every year because that's the only thing they can do. They cannot raise their kids. I think there is nothing more heartbreaking than this, because we went in with the assumption that they are orphans, but it was worse. The poverty is so much that they cannot educate their child, and especially in that orphanage, there were girl child, because those families chose, even if they were, poverty-ridden, they chose to educate their sons and not their girls. So they had them drop off to the orphanages. So that was very heartbreaking. But the surprising part was that those girls were so cheerful and they were so happy, delightful girls. I think we take life we are always complaining that ye nahi hua, wo nahi hua, and we don't understand our own privilege. So when I interacted with them, I realized that you don't need to have everything to be happy and content. It's the small, small things. And they actually really changed my perspective on a lot of things.
So, coming to you yourself personally, there were certain parts in life that you were also not happy. You were struggling with self-image, right?
Yeah.
How was that journey? How has it shaped your confidence today?
So growing up, I used to struggle a lot with anxiety and self-image issues. But I realized over time that it is not what defines me. And it took me time, but slowly and steadily, I realized that confidence, it makes you magnetic. Not when you're perfect, but when you are unapologetically you. So,
Now tell me, struggling about self-image. There are so many kids, so many youngsters who are struggling with the same. But I want to dissect this. What was that about you that you were not so confident about or were constantly struggling?
I think, frankly speaking, it was my smile. I was not very confident with my smile because growing up, I had a little gap in my teeth and it made me a little underconfident. I used to never smile for pictures and I used to see all these other girls, all my other friends just smile and be happy. Even when I was really happy and we were taking a picture, I would not put on a full teethy smile. But then growing up, I tried with aligners and everything and I fixed my smile and I think my confidence just boosted up and I felt more confident. But when I look back to the young Ayushi, I still think that even with that gap, her smile was very beautiful and she should have smiled more.
And right now, your smile is like a sparkling diamond. So tell me, there are so many, again, going back, why? Because there are so many kids youngsters who look up to you, and I'm sure they must be struggling as well with the same, with the aligners and with the whole process you did. But how did you cope with that entire process of becoming you, what you are today?
It's all about the mindset, right? Obviously, it is not important for you that you start up with the right mindset. That's not how everybody works. Even I was underconfident, like I said, and I was a little insecure of my smile. But I worked on it. I tried to smile more, tried to pose more on camera, and realized that not everybody needs to have a perfect smile. And that gap in my teeth did make me unique. And in fact, I got a lot of modeling projects just because of that, because it made me stand out. But yes, there were some surgeries needed because of the biting issues and everything. But yeah, I think all of that, just changing that mindset, just that shift in the mindset was important for me, which I realized in my late teenage years. But yes.
Is it that easy to train your mind? Because you make it sound so simple and the process is easy. Like just switch it on or off and it happens?
No, it was not that easy. Like I said, since like when I was in 4th standard, phones were introduced to me and pictures and everything. So I was very insecure of my smile and I used to never smile for pictures. But then slowly, steadily, I started posing more in front of the cameras. 2-3 years passed and I think I started getting more confident, and when I started getting projects because of that, I think that's what, clicked for me. And that's when I realized that, okay, I don't need to be insecure. My smile is very unique, and yes.
How did your parents cope with this whole thing when you were struggling with this whole process? Because it's not easy at home for you, because you're upset, you're low in life. So how did they manage and how did they pull you up to become what you are today?
So my parents always encouraged me to, smile more often, and they always said that it's not a big deal. We'll get you braces, we'll get you aligners. Like when you grew up, because I was very small at that time braces weren't encouraged for me. So that was the case, but they've always encouraged me to smile more often. And I think at that time when I was very young, I did not take it that well. But as I grew up, I started, taking their words in and their advices in, and it really reflected.
Ayushi, I'd like to know, how has your journey been to the run-up to the 61st Femina Miss India?
It has been amazing, I must say. And you brought that question out. So I was the first contestant to get crowned and to get into 61st Femina Miss India. Our finale happened in June 2025. So it's been a very long time. I have been waiting for Femina Miss India eagerly. And now that I'm here, I just feel so happy, so excited, and just so grateful to be here. And this week has been very hectic, very eventful, very nice, and it's just like a dream come true.
All right, out of the 30 girls, you're the first one to be chosen. So are you the Dawn girl, like I know it all, I've been here longer than all of you?
I wouldn't say that, but yes, definitely I have had a lot of time, and actually I've been waiting for all my contestants. So when they started coming up, I think I was the happiest.
As they say, patience bears fruitful results. Sabr ka phal meetha hota hai. With that, I'm going to jump on quickly to my quick fire round. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. All you have to do is answer them quickly. You ready for this?
Yes.
Can I shoot?
Yes.
Go for it. What is the best advice you ever received?
That would be, मेहनत सबको करनी पड़ती है. कुछ लोग अभी करते हैं और कुछ लोग जिंदगी भर करते रहते हैं.
One quote you live by?
I think one quote I live by is definitely, clarity comes from action, not thought.
One line of poetry you love?
I'm the master of my own fate, the captain of my own ship.
Last film that stayed with you?
I think it would be 12th Fail.
Favorite actor? Male?
Hrithik Roshan.
Female?
Deepika Padukone.
Comfort food?
Dal rice.
Nice. Coffee or chai?
Coffee.
One city you could live in forever?
Mumbai.
One habit you want to change?
I think I keep picking my hair. I think I want to change that.
One song on repeat right now?
Surma.
Surma?
Yeah.
Hum 2 lines?
पीछे मेरे अंधेरा आगे अंधी आंधी है मैंने ऐसी आंधी में दिया जलाया है.
मैं सोच रहा हूँ कौन सा गाना है अभी भी.
It's not that famous, but it's
Okay.
okay. Nice.
If not this, what would you be doing?
I think I would be doing consulting.
What does India mean to you today?
India is my entire heart.
One thing you want to be remembered for?
My grace.
What's great about your state?
Our cuisine.
3 places one must visit in Odisha.
Definitely Jagannath Puri. Then it would be Chilika Lake and Konark Temple.
And one must eat thing in Odisha.
I'll say 2. One is Pakhada and the second one is Chena Podo.
I have to Google both to understand what that is, and when the
Yes.
finale is happening, we'll go and eat
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
And last one, on a serious note, the world is at war. What are we doing wrong as global citizens?
I think the one thing that we are doing wrong as global citizens is that we are compromising our peace. I think we should shift from focusing on ego to actually focusing on humanity.
Impressive. Soft-spoken Ayushi Panda from Odisha, yet with strong thoughts and vision. Wishing you the best
Thank
for the
you.
grand finale, and it happens in your state, so definitely you've got more cheer. Go for it, wing it, and wish you the best.